It's May, and I'm hanging out with one of my best friends in the whole world, Jon Bye. Many people don't know this. Jon is actually the guy that talked me in to getting into real estate.
Yes.
One of the three, my wife, and there's somebody else that remains nameless. But first, let's get to the team and the stats.
Starting with townhomes, our benchmark price is about $567,000. That's a 5% loss from the same time last year and about a 1% gain since last month.
Detached sales in Surrey were up 5.9% month over month. They are down 19.6% year over year. The benchmark price at $1,063,000 is only down 0.3%. We've seen 4 consecutive months of increased sales month over month, showing that we appear to be turning the corner.
Ending with condos, our benchmark price is right around $438,000. That's about a 6% loss from the same time last year. And if we look at the month over month numbers, it's pretty much flat.
All right, so when Jon and I get together, both being in real estate, being good friends, we have a couple of beers and then we start talking shop.
Yep.
And you're in the Seattle market, but we're here in Renton right now looking over Lake Washington, and we always start talking about the differences between our market.
Yeah.
One of the most interesting things that I found out about your marketplace is after subjects come off of your property, it may still not be sold. For us, it's completely a different thing. So how does that work?
So the way it's set up is that in the purchase and sale contract, I know where you're at, there's usually like 10 days or 15 days and like everything gets wiped out, right? Like for conditions, everything. So we still have like in home inspections, financing contingency is really the one that lasts throughout the entire process, unless you specifically ask for it to be removed at a later date or up front. You have to be very intentional and specific if you're gonna have it, your earnest money, which we use is to become non-refundable at that point. And that's pretty rare. So it's not, well, it doesn't happen very often, but there is risk all the way till the end.
Okay, and for us, as soon as the conditions, let's call it 7 to 10 days, something like that, are removed, deposit is paid. I mean, we've never had a deal not come together as a result. So it's just a difference in the market. But you said that you noticed something about our market that maybe actually your Seattle market has an advantage of, and that reflects around pricing?
Well, when you look at pricing, so the way that ours is, and you're talking about the way we post, correct?
The way you post sold price.
Yes, correct. So the way that you do it at home is right when those contingencies or subjects are removed, the price is given right at that moment.
The price posts on our MLS system when subjects come off, so the sold sticker goes on, but you may not still get that money in your hand.
Until the end.
Until 3-4 months down the road.
Yeah, so for us though, we don't post the sold price until it actually closes. So we negotiate a deal and it could be 30, 45 days, or maybe if it's like a really delayed closing, it could be 60, 90 days.
And with our marketplace from about 2015 to 2018 heating it up, Seattle did similar numbers. It was quite active. But your marketplace would take 2 or 3 or 4 months to post that sold price.
Yes.
Where we were taking 2 or 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, and the way it works too is that even if it's pending, like we can call and ask the agent and try to figure out and get an idea, but more than likely they're not going to tell us because it's not signed, sealed, and delivered. So they're not going to.
That may have actually caused your prices not to rapidly inflate like Vancouver did.
Correct. Yeah, and here in the States in general, that's common practice no matter what. Across the whole country.
Okay, the other thing that's common practice across the country that's different is we do amortization periods on our mortgages. So we'll get a 30-year amortization, but we'll only get usually a 5-year fixed term. And then after 5 years, we need to go and renegotiate. So you may go up and you may go down. Different down here.
Totally different. So day one, you're closed, you're locked in. 30-year amortization, you can get 15 or 10, or you can do what's called an ARM product, an adjustable rate mortgage. You can get those. They're not as common though, because you might get a little bit better rate, but then after 3, 5, 7 years, then you have to, at that point, now it's going to adjust up, or you have to do it.
So most people, the day they move in and they start making their mortgage payments, that's the same payment they're going to have for 25 or 30 years?
Yeah. Wow. The whole time. Your taxes are obviously going to go up for sure.
So you never have to worry about your fluctuation, because I mean, we've got the benefit then of if rates go down, we could possibly get a better rate. But you've got the benefit of if rates go up, I don't have to worry about that for the whole time I own the property.
Yep, unless rates go way down, then maybe at that point you look at refinancing if it makes sense, but you don't ever have to change.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy. All right, well, now hopefully, I don't know if this actually is of benefit to you, but if you go to a dinner party and you can talk about some cool stuff, the differences between the Vancouver or Lower Mainland market and the Puget Sound and Seattle market. Jon, thanks for having me on. I was going to say thanks for coming, but I actually came down to your house to do this, so appreciate it. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next month.
Cheers.
Is it?
I hope it's working.
We'll find out.
Hopefully we don't do it all and the mic's not working.
That would suck.